All right, y'all. Update with what's everything going on. I've been pretty quiet. I know I've been making a lot of people upset by talking about these kinds of things. Um, it's what God has me focused on. It's what He told me to pay attention to. So I've been paying attention to, it, even though I'm just a little white girl. I've been paying attention to it and been watching several different sources. And yeah, it's getting crazy. It's getting crazy. But I'm going to keep at it, even if I'm losing viewers on my YouTube channel. It's just one of those things. This was about a week or two ago, but there is on the global oil reserves, there is a shortage risk already. There is 400 million barrels released from strategic stockpiles. If I can get to talking, okay. All right. 400 million barrels has been released. 400 million. That's quite a bit. A lot of countries in the East are really, really struggling. You've got lines and lines and lines of people getting gas. This is already really, really bad, even if the war hasn't escalated to the next point. But we're going to go through some points here and we'll get on to other things. So the shortage risk, it is the largest release in agency's history. So this is the first time they have ever released this much oil, which is absolutely insane. Global oil reserves, shortage risk, 20 days of supply disruption covered by release. Only 20 days. So kind of crazy. Let's go back here. If you will just excuse my personal photos here. So if you're wondering why the markets and the price of oil, if you're paying attention, everything's just all chaotic. This is why our government is manipulating the prices. You saw this. If you've been paying attention, before there was even a truce, oil was, you guys saw it when I did the video on it, it was over $100 a barrel. And then as soon as Trump said that there are peace talks, y'all immediately, it was like 7 a.m. on Monday morning before the markets open. And within 5 minutes, everything reacted to that immediately, y'all. If y'all have seen the graphs and following people that are watching this, it's absolutely insane. And they are manipulating the markets, and they've actually admitted that they do. It helps the economy. And when this was going on, Iran was like, no, we're not talking to you. We're not having any peace talks. We're demanding this. And this was several months ago before you bombed us while we were in Oman. And now the only country, one of the only countries that Iran has to talk to is Pakistan, y'all. And Pakistan is a nuclear country. They have nuclear weapons. And you've seen that, and no one has even tried to mess with Iran or Pakistan right now. And I don't think they want to because Pakistan has nuclear weapons. So, if they do, I think Israel might be ignorant enough, sorry, to do something like that. But yeah, it's absolutely crazy. And you got the honey badgers of the Middle East getting involved with it now. The Yemen Houthis, if you didn't know, they were the honey badgers of the Middle East. They don't care. They don't care at all. They don't care how tiny and how very little weapons they have. Y'all saw them attacking ships and boats that were affiliated with Israel way back in the day. Yeah, those are the honey badgers. And they're getting into it too. So who knows, y'all? Who knows? This was, quite a while ago. When was this? March the 25th. This is Representative Nancy Mace just walked out of a House Armed Services briefing on Iran. Let me repeat, I will not support troops on the ground in Iran, even more so after this briefing. So I don't know what they're telling our Congress and representatives, but it's almost looking like a lot of people are not on board with it. Even though the American and we're being projected, war, 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 kill, 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 blood, blood, blood. We don't care who it is. There are a lot of people that are standing against it. I've seen so much military come out against this, retired military. You got the Joe Kent, you got everything. They're not going along with this. Charlie Kirk was a big proponent to Trump. Do not do this. If you do this, it's not going to be good. And everyone talks about if we put troops on the ground. Y'all, we have over 10,000 troops there. The 82nd Airborne has been deployed. When have y'all ever thought that the 82nd Airborne had been deployed but we're not doing anything? That's a lot of money. Like, I don't even know how much money it took to get the 82nd Airborne activated and over to SITCOM in the Middle East. I mean, this is serious. This is serious. And then Hegseth coming on today and said he came up to a female soldier and he said, ma'am, soldier, what do you want? And supposedly the soldier, this woman, looked up at him and said, more bombs. And we know Hegseth lies, and we've caught Trump in lies, how these military families are feeling, and how military personnel are reacting. You're seeing the complete opposite coming out, and it's just like, oh my gosh. I really, really hope. I hope and pray that we don't have soldiers that are bloodthirsty like that and they're just so ready to bomb, bomb, bomb. I hope they have a spiritual mentality to where they're defending, but they're not aggressing, they're defending. Anyways, it's just all chaotic, and I know a lot of people disagree with what I say, and that's okay. That's okay. We should be able to talk about these things because these things are serious. This is not some blase, and I know everyone, a lot of people are like that, like blase. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Yeah, it does, because it's going to affect us. It's going to affect our communities. It's going to affect our country, whether we think it's going to or not. Now, a lot of the effects are being felt in the Middle East, most definitely. In the Middle East and in the East. But y'all don't believe the ruse that, here we go, some funny memes for you guys. Don't believe the ruse that China and Russia are struggling and standing against us right now. Come on, y'all. They've been like that with Iran for quite a while. China's been buying oil from them for I don't know how long. Russia is a strategic partner of theirs. Russia's making pretty good money. China's still getting their oil. These people are not hurting. These countries are not hurting. And they're being very, very quiet. Very quiet. So we'll see what comes on that. Pretty funny, huh? Yeah. And all this rhetoric, short-term pain, long-term goal, and numerous agencies saying it at the same time. Y'all remember the programming of after 2019? Yeah. So, supposedly, this is not a war. I'm telling you what, Trump needs to hire Marco Rubio to do all the speaking, because He's very, very good. Do I particularly like him? Not really. But can he speak well? Yeah. Actually, after an exclusive interview on Al Jazeera, I was like, wow, okay. This guy knows his stuff. He knows what to say and what not to say. Even though he was the one at the very, very start of this, when the bombs started dropping from Israel and us on Iran, that the only reason why we got into this is because we knew Israel was going to, and we knew our bases were going to retaliate. Our bases were going to be retaliated against, and we knew we had no choice and we had to do something. But this is not a war. This is just a military operation, is what he said over and over again. But I gotta hand it to Marco Rubio. He knows how to speak. He knows how to carry himself and his stature. So who knows? But this is not a war, but we won the war. So please, somebody help us. You know, it's just cuckoo land. I really hope the best for him. I really do. I'm not one of these Trump haters, whether you guys want to see me that as not or not, but jeez Louise, you don't know what to believe. I mean, we're bombing Iran. No, we're gonna have peace talks. Oh, there's no peace talks. We're just making it up in thin air. Oh, now there's peace talks. You know, the markets and everything. You know, I wish it was so funny because ever since Bondi and the Epstein hearing in Congress, ever since she tried to make a defense to all these Epstein and all this hiding and everything, what she came back as a defense for President Trump was talking about the stocks and how high the stocks are. Have y'all noticed the stocks have not been at 50,000 since? She shouldn't have opened her mouth, is all I got to say. I think she's probably learned her lesson because it's a very, very quiet. But the Dow I saw was at 45,000. I don't think it's really gotten close since this war started, to tell you the truth. Maybe a little close, but here in the past week or two, I haven't seen it anywhere close. Iranian parliament, this is brand new clips I took this morning. Iranian parliament speaker says the people of Iran will make the enemy regret the aggression. So these talking points and programming trying to tell us that the Iranians are going to go against their government and their parliament and everything else. These people are standing together and they're not going to take being taken over by the United States like we've done in pretty much every other country in the Middle East. They're not going for it. So the Iranian armed forces are saying they are targeting just American and Israeli radar stations, or this is new. They are targeting American and Israeli radar stations in the UAE. So that's crazy, isn't it? So crazy. Okay, here we go. Brand new threats. Hegseth says, I'm just seeing a recent video from Reuters saying coming days will be very decisive for Iran. We're within, 5 days? 5 or 6 days to the deadline. It's April the 6th, I believe. Trump threatens to blow up power plants, oil wells, and Karg Island if Strait of Hormuz is not opened. So they had a trump card, so to say. Iran did, and I think there's a lot of strategic people, a lot of people I've been watching for a long time. They're like, hey, they could do this, and sure enough, what happened? They did. But they closed the Strait of Hormuz. Say, you want to bomb our country? But watch this. You know, it's so crazy, but you're not messing with a third world country. You know, we want to talk about how big, bad, and tough we are, but you know, there's other countries out there that are big, bad, and tough. You know, uh, you're supposed to know your enemy. Um, do I speak for the Iranian government and the Iranian Ayatollah? No, I don't. But you have to admit, they had a huge trump card and they played it very, very well because they have disrupted the entire world oil economy, completely disrupted it. Just go outside and tell me what I'm doing. All right, guys, almost done here. Trump threatens to blow up power plants, oil wells, and Karg Island if Strait of Hormuz is not open. And you guys know this. We just went past that. The Iran conflict, attacks on the Gulf. Kuwait says oil tanker attacked in Dubai port. Iran is saying they did not bomb this. Iran is saying they did not do this and that it was Israel. Israel hasn't said anything about it. But Kuwait was hammered, and not this particular situation, but the desalination plant. I mean, Kuwait is being pounded right now. Pounded. And you want to talk about debilitating an entire country. Kuwait is getting it bad. At least 5 interceptions heard in Dubai on Tuesday. Bahrain, Saudi Arabia, and Qatar report missile interceptions. So this war has not stopped. So the fact that we're trying to say that Iran is running out of weapons, obviously not, because they're still firing them off. And we got the threat from, what is it? Some mayor in Iran, or some leader in Iran, when they were asked if Israel uses a nuclear weapon on you, what are you going to do? Are you going to be able to do anything about it? And they actually replied, you have no idea what's in store for them. We've got things we can do. So there are a lot of people speculating that they have a nuclear bomb or they're a nuclear bomb. Y'all, if you drop several tomahawks or, ground busters, weapons guys, help me out. If you fired off several of those, especially what we did in Iran with the Iranian facilities, if you drop off enough of this, even if they don't have a nuclear warhead, if you drop off enough of that, it's going to feel like a nuclear weapon. You're probably going to do as much destruction as a nuclear weapon. So even if Iran doesn't have a nuclear warhead, they could do if they wanted to. From the evidence we're seeing, have you guys seen those cluster bombs that Iran is shooting at Israel? I mean, just boom, 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 boom. I mean, all in the same region. It's absolutely crazy. Like, what in the world? It's getting crazy. China expresses gratitude after 3 Chinese flagged vessels were allowed passage through the Strait of Hormuz. Y'all, China and Russia are not hurting from this conflict. They are not. And now Trump is saying he would be interested in calling on Arab countries to help pay for the cost of the Iran war. The Qatar foreign minister did a hearing, an interview, a statement release this morning, and he's like, no, I don't know anything about that. I have no comment on that. I've never seen this guy switch up on a response to a question that quick. He straight said, we don't have any information. I'm not commenting on it. Just there's almost rumors. You saw the Qatar leader meeting with Saudi Arabia Crown Prince, and it makes you wonder. A lot of these countries are, instead of working with the U.S. almost, as far as talks are going and them discussing it, they've already had these Middle East Gulf countries. They've already had their own conferences talking and speaking about this, and it's almost like they're talking with each other. It's almost like they're not involving the U.S. anymore. So, oh, we'll see how the talks go. It's pretty surprising how it's Pakistan. You wouldn't think Pakistan would be the one country that would be organizing the peace talks. You want to talk about some more honey badgers? They keep fighting with Afghanistan, like just around every corner, and this whole entire, uh, a war scenario. It seems like everybody's been at war for who knows how long. It's absolutely crazy. So for all those people that mocked me about the whole Charlie Cook and everything that I shared on it, and it doesn't add up, make it make sense. You got your Tuckers, you got your Candace Owens, you got your Valhalla VFT, you got your Ian Carroll, you got your Baron Coleman, which I watch, sometimes a few of those in a week, and they are being vindicated right now because they brought out all the evidence. I believe Valhalla was one of the first ones. He made a video within 48 hours after the shooting and said, no, this is not the murder weapon. And so now we're seeing it. Washington County Sheriff, who facilitated Tyler Robinson turning himself in, quit out of nowhere. He has resigned. How convenient, right after it was released, that the bullet is not a match for the gun. Nothing to see here. Forensics, ballistics analysis is saying that the bullet that was found in Charlie Kirk's body does not match the 30-06 that belonged to Tyler Robinson's father. We all knew that. There were so many tests that so many pages did. A lot of these cool military guys that do their podcasts, yeah, they did all of that. Like, no, there's no way. Anyways, it's absolutely crazy, and they're trying to extend the trial, trying to extend it, and if they can, they think they can actually get Tyler Robinson. But like Valhalla said today, if you have no ballistics analysis evidence against somebody for shooting somebody else, your case is, what's your evidence? What's your evidence? Unless you actually have it on video. But even if you have it on video, you need to have that ballistics match. Forensics is huge in these kinds of cases. So if you don't have that, it's going to be pretty hard for them. So now we can see Andrew Colbert was in lies. We could see all along, and we knew it anyways with Epstein. Kashi Patelli. I mean, he was straight lying. So, yeah, too much stuff. And that's all you can do is laugh. We stay on track. We keep an eye on things that are going on, but we don't let it bring us down. This is one cuckoo world that we're living in. And this wind, it's quiet. Maybe we should be more quiet so we don't disrupt the wind. I don't know about y'all, but I'm grateful for it. I got to get to the store too, so perfect timing, Abba Father. I did see a new post. Okay, redacted. It just posted a video, and they said, get out now because Iran is threatening massive attacks on Apple, Google, Palantir, and it looks like Microsoft. So, wow. And I don't mean to defend them, but everything that Iran has said that they're going to do, they've actually done. And y'all, we have a surplus of thousands and thousands and thousands of troops. I don't know the exact number. Maybe there's a military guy on here that can tell me the exact number. But it's thousands upon thousands upon thousands. Not technically as far as the people I've been watching enough, to actually do a ground invasion. But you got to understand, Iran is a probably one of the most complex territories you could ever think of actually trying to invade. So trying to take Kharg Island, it's completely set off from Iran. Iran has ballistic missiles, short range and long range. And so if you put our military all on this island to occupy it and take the oil, because that seems like that's what we do. If you do that, they are going to be fodder. They are going to be an easy target practice for Iran. That's all there is to it. That's easy target practice. So I hope that's not the case. And maybe they go about things, but y'all, they're not going to call in the 82nd Airborne unless they're serious about doing something. I mean, come on. When have we ever called in? It's been a full out war. When the 82nd Airborne gets called out, it's full out war. Even if what they want to spin it as a military operation, this is war. This is war. That's all there is to it. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see after this weekend how everything turns out. So I had to give an update and share. I'm just being obedient, taking a break, trying to take everything in. I've got a holy time coming up. It's Passover week, and I need to be really, really, really focused. So I kind of took a break from all this. But yeah, it's absolutely crazy. We live in cuckoo world, but we still believe in Jesus. We still keep a smile on our face, and we still keep walking and standing up for truth and sharing it. Because when it comes down to it, that's all there is. And that's all we can do. Anyways, y'all, blessings, peace, and grace be upon you. And until next time, even if we're in war, we praise God.